Hello, everybody. What is today? Wednesday? Is it really Thursday? Wednesday. Wednesday. It has been a whirlwind day. How are y'all doing? Thank you for being patient for me, or with me, I should say, bumping the live stream back a little bit. I was at the airport picking up family. So that is super, super exciting. So thanks for being patient with me. I appreciate y'all. And I am trying to help Susan hop on here. We're having some technical difficulties, but it wouldn't be a live stream if there weren't technical difficulties, right? Let's see. So give me just a second. We're trying to figure it all out. Okay. We're going with a plan B. Okay. All right. So I see everybody is making some yummy things. I love that so much. I'm glad that the me bumping it back worked for everybody. Anyways, if you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that all of you are here. My name is Erin Bees. I am a wife, a mom, a military veteran, and I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing, healed my way out, and now I'm using all of my social media platforms to educate and raise awareness around the dangers of multi-level marketing companies and the tactics used by their reps. This is going to be a little bit different of a live stream tonight, whenever you are watching this. I am bringing on my trainer and friend, Susan. I have provided all of her information in the video description, along with her credentials, which I know is something that people ask for with good reason. And so all of that is already listed in the video description. And we are going to be reacting to a video that Kelsey Ray put out, specifically giving workout advice. And French onion soup, that sounds great. It's not to make fun of her. It's not to do anything like that. It's really about the dangerous information that she is putting out. And I have my own opinions based on my own experience with working out and all of that stuff, but I don't have the credentials. And Susan has the credentials, and she's getting ready to hop on. So she is going to be the expert in this department. I am very careful in what I say and how I go about saying it, because credentials matter, right? So in case you guys have never met my trainer and my friend, Susan, let me bring her to, oh, that blue looks great on you.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, everybody, this is Susan. She's my trainer. She's my friend. I've learned a ton from her. If you want to connect with her, you have questions, comments, you're looking for a trainer that you want to work with, whether you live in her area in Pittsburgh,
Philadelphia.
How did I? Anyway, sorry.
You're both P's with long names.
Yeah. If you live in her area, she does train virtually. She trains me virtually, amongst some of you, which I'm really excited that you guys have been able to connect with her. So Susan, you want to say hi to everybody? And I know I already put your credentials in the video description, but you want to just go over those really quickly in case somebody wants to just hear it from you live.
Yeah. My name's Susan. I'm a ACE certified personal trainer and group fitness instructor and a sports nutrition specialist. So those are my credentials, and I take them pretty seriously. I studied really hard to get them. And I continue to study and learn as much as I can all the time, which is part of being a responsible person in the fitness industry, because the literature is changing all the time. Research is coming out all the time. Things are being debunked or improved upon all the time. So it's really important to keep up on what the latest literature is saying from scientific sources, of course.
We love science.
Yeah.
Also, some of the videos and things that she sends me, whether it's like a YouTube video or like it's on Instagram, I learned so much. It's just incredible, and I'm so grateful, and I'm really glad that we can come together here and debunk and we have both watched this already, and both of us were raging. And look at Susan's face. Let me just say, if there's going to be language, adult language here. So if you have little ones around, we know how spicy Susan is, and we love that. So if you're in an area
I really appreciate you putting the disclaimer about my mouth earlier, because it's true. I can get
we love that though. I
passionate.
don't ever change that here
Okay.
on the don't we love that. And I know our audience here, I know they love it too. They love it. So, but I just like to give that disclaimer, if you're around little ones and you don't want them to hear, adult language or whatnot, or if you're listening at work, catching the replay or whatever, just put some headphones on, you know? So some people said headphones are already on. So, Mike, thank you so much for the gifted membership, Mike. I'm not going to do any sound effects or anything like that tonight, but thank you for that. I appreciate you. And I'm just curious who got that membership. Let us know in the comments. Okay. So let's talk about this video. Again, we're coming from a place of this is very dangerous advice that Kelsey Ray is giving. And my fear, and I know Susan and I kind of talked about this the other day, is that she's going to step into a place where she's appearing to be some sort of a fitness influencer without the credentials. And so I'm going to ask a lot of questions because Susan is the expert in this department. I'm going to share my experience, of course. And we're just going to talk about the video.
Oh, the horror.
I don't even know. I don't even know. This will probably be a shorter live stream though, because this video is only like 14 and a half minutes long.
Thank God.
But seriously, but this video is just so dangerous. So I'm going to stop running my mouth and let me run the disclaimer really quickly and we'll be right back. Okay. All right. So this is Kelsey Ray. In case you don't know, she is in Pruvit, not Susan, the video that we're about to react to. And she is in Pruvit. She is, I guess, one of the top people in Pruvit. She was a part of or is a part of the Empire. And how do I even want to intro this? She is somebody, and no shade to anybody that has a nanny or any of that stuff. She has kind of made her brand all about working from home. And over the last, I don't know, 3-4 months or so, I feel like we've seen stories of her struggling with parenting, which, by the way, parenting is hard and we all struggle. Shout out to all the parents out there. But it's just been really interesting to see how she shows up on social media being a little bit different. I don't know how exactly I want to intro that. But anyways, she recently has to start working out from home, and so she got some gym equipment and she is showing people how to do some of her favorite exercises, and it's horrible. So we're going to watch it, and just like the thumbnail says, this is going to be a do versus not do kind of thing coming from the expert over here, Susan. In case you don't, know who this is, she's incredible. You should follow her. Click on her information in the video description. And we'll just go from there. We'll see where this takes us. Maybe at the end, we can do a couple minutes of questions if you guys maybe have some questions for Susan, or we'll just figure it out. Okay, so let's go.
Hey, it's Kelsey Ray coming at you live from Charleston. As y'all are hopping on, please drop a 1 in the comments if you're catching this live. Drop a 2 in the comments if you are watching this on the replay so I can tell you that I missed you.
Oh my
And
God.
if you're on TikTok or Instagram, go ahead and pop over to Facebook just so I can have all of the comments saved in case just trust me, okay? So don't forget, you guys, if you want to save this, I'm literally about to work out with you in my new at-home gym. I'm so excited. I'm a little bit nervous because I don't typically like work out with you guys or anything like that, but I'm really hoping that this is going to help you to draw some inspiration to start moving your body, even though it's Saturday right now. And I'm just going to do like a really quick 15-20 minute like body movement. It's going to work the whole body. And I'm going to show you guys some of my favorite movements when it comes to working out in the gym. But I'm really excited about it, and if you would like to save this for a later time, or you would like to help me reach more people, or you would like to be entered into my giveaway, all you got to do is tap the share button, comment the word shared. You can do this over and over again. So if you've been sharing out my lives, I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. So we're going to go ahead and dive.
I definitely have noticed lately that she is begging for interaction. She is begging for people to share her content out. She is begging for people to share her lives out, more so than I feel like we've seen in the past. And so to me, that feels very desperate. Why? I think maybe because checks are dropping. I think the anti-MLM movement is doing a phenomenal job of getting information out so people don't join these pyramid schemes. And so shout out to everybody that's a part of the anti-MLM movement that is, putting information out. We appreciate you. Brianna would lose it at the lack of shoes. Yeah. Susan, how do you feel about her working out barefoot? What are your thoughts on this?
Working out barefoot is okay for certain movements, but for other movements, it's not so great. So like for deadlifts, it's good. For squats, I would not do that.
Okay.
I mean, and it depends, right? Like you have to be safe first and foremost. So you need some kind of traction going on.
Yeah.
I've seen people work out in socks, which horrifies me because there's just slippage potential, which seems like a disaster waiting to happen when you have a barbell in your hands. But yeah, that's the least of her problems is the shoelessness.
Yeah. Yeah. In this video? Yes. But I was just curious because we didn't talk about that the other day. And so you see a lot of people when they are working out that they're either in their socks like you talked about or barefoot. And I was just curious what your thoughts were on that. So
Yeah, I mean it just really depends. Some people prefer it. I always like an elevated heel. So that's, when you see people wearing weightlifting shoes, that's what's going on there. They're not like magic. They just have a lifted heel in them. So it gives you extra ankle flexion. But you can get that by putting your heels up on plates or an actual squat wedge. So just
yeah.
depends.
Brandy has a question, and Brandy, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you, boo. And Brandy says, "What about the 5-finger shoes? How do you feel about those?"
I mean, some people like them. They're really, I see mostly runners using them for training. It's not something I ever see in the weight room. So it's supposed to be as natural like there's a whole movement in the running world, which I'm not a part of, but there's a whole movement in the running world about barefoot running. And there's some people who swear by it. And the 5-finger shoes are the closest thing you can get to barefoot running. And, some people feel like they want to wear the 5-finger shoes as a fashion accessory, which is also horrifying to me. I think it's horrible. But,
I mean, to each their own, I guess.
You do you, boo. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for that. Let's see what else she has in store for us. I mean, Susan and I know, maybe some of you know, but
Dive into this because I cannot stand when people go live with something and they won't get to the freaking point. Okay.
What?
So don't forget, you guys, just share this out. Type in the comments the word shared. Tell me hi, hello. Tell me where you're coming from.
Get to the point.
I'm super nervous. I don't typically get nervous when I go live, but I'm really nervous right now because
I wonder if she's nervous, excuse me, because she knows she probably shouldn't be doing this.
I agree. I think that is exactly why she's nervous, and she should be nervous. She should feel
Yeah.
ashamed.
Yeah. The advice that and again, Susan and I already talked about this, but some of the advice that she's going to give out is so dangerous. Please do not listen to anything Kelsey Ray is saying about where I shouldn't say anything because there are some things that she was like, oh, okay. But yeah, anyways, let's just get back to the video before I spill the beans before we even watch the video because it's atrocious.
I don't know. I'm just never really. I've worked out with you guys a couple of times, but anyways, what do you guys like? I want to know what is the one thing that is preventing you from lifting weights, not just exercising or walking or moving, like lifting weights. Because I don't know if y'all know this, but the better you take care of your muscles, the longer you will actually live. And that's like literal science. If you can hold on to muscle in your body, you will live a longer life. It will help you to live a longer life, okay? Good morning, good evening from Alabama. Today, by the way, we are celebrating our second 7-year-old. She just turned 7 on Thursday. Her name is Emily. And so that's my bonus baby. You guys tell her happy birthday in the comments. Drop some pink hearts for her, and I will show her all the love that you guys have to give her. So I guess we're just going to go ahead and get into it. I'm like I said, I'm really nervous. I might not do a lot of weight with this. This is not me doing this because I want to necessarily build muscle. I just want to get some movement into my body because I haven't really been moving today. Okay. So, and by the way, you guys, if you want to have help with the wait, let me turn this way. Y'all, this is a real freaking barbell. I'm not even joking.
No, we thought it was fake.
Also, I hate this angle that she's choosing to do the movements in. I hate it so much.
Well, she's live on multiple platforms on multiple devices. I don't know why it's so hard for them to figure out that you could use, I don't know, a streaming platform such as StreamYard that we're on right now on my YouTube channel to be able to stream to multiple platforms without having to have different devices that all have different angles. You could do one device and stream to multiple things. It's really not that hard. This flex that some of these MLMers have with I'm live on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook all at once on 3 different devices. Ridiculous. Use a streaming platform.
I'm so excited. But if you guys need some help with a program, I do a 10-day program to launch yourself into health and wellness and fitness. Just drop a 10 in the comments below and I can send you details. All right, so my first.
Can we talk about that? Are we going to be pausing this a lot? Yeah. Oh, that is very close. Sorry. Wait, do you like it better?
Oh, I mean, I don't mind.
Okay. I just didn't plan for it to be that close. Let's talk about her putting programs together without the credentials, and you want to just kind of elaborate on like why that could be so dangerous and why checking credentials on influencers that are selling a program online, a black and white, one size fits all for everybody, and why that might be dangerous for people.
Yeah, because people can get hurt. Unfortunately, there's really no type of protection against people claiming they are all sorts of things. Like, I'm actually certified to be a sports nutrition specialist. Like, I studied many months and took tests. But there are people who just take the title nutritionist and it's okay for them to do that. So like a dietitian has a master's degree in nutrition. A nutritionist, that title, you can claim that title. I claim the title because I studied for it and I'm actually certified in it. But there are people who claim the title who are not certified to have that. So the same thing goes for people who are personal trainers. I've seen it happen. You can't get a job at a gym if you are not certified. But you can claim all sorts of things. And unless people check, you wouldn't know, because most lay people who hire somebody, just assume that they know what they're talking about, especially if they come from a air of authority. So,
Yeah.
and that's easy to do when you're confident. So, it's a slippery slope, and unfortunately, there's no protections.
Yeah. So let's just say if somebody that's watching this comes across somebody on Instagram, an influencer on Instagram, and they're like, "Oh, wow. I really like their style or their workouts or whatever," just simply asking for their credentials before they work with them. Is that what you would advise them to do?
I would definitely advise them to do that, because a lot of people coast on their looks or their build to gain clients or gain a following or whatever. And, um, it's for them, it's not about ethics, it's about money. So they don't
Yeah.
fucking care.
Yeah. Okay.
So for Kelsey Ray to do this and to even sell programs, which I think is like, it makes my blood boil.
Yeah.
It's unethical. It's just gross. It's irresponsible, and it's taking advantage of people who, oh, bless you.
Thank you.
It's taking advantage of people who don't know any better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hate to say that there's no like legal ramifications unless somebody got hurt and wanted to drop a lawsuit, then that, I think that could be a thing. But
Yeah.
the chances of that happening are real slim.
Yeah. And obviously we don't want people to get hurt, but it's yeah. Okay. Thanks for all the bless yous in the comments. I appreciate y'all. All right, let's get back to the video here.
First movement, I think y'all already know what this is. It's going to be the deadlifts, okay? This is going to work your lower body. So specifically, depending on how you hold your legs, it's going to work your hamstrings. It's going to work your glutes, which is your booty. And so drop some peaches in the comments below if y'all want to learn how to grow a booty, because this is my favorite exercise. On top of, you have to have some upper body strength, and you have to have your core really tight. I want to walk you guys through a couple of things that you want to focus on when you're doing deadlifts. You can do this at home if you have a barbell, or you can do it at home if you have dumbbell, or realistically, just get a broomstick and just really, mind to muscle connection is so real. All you have to do is focus really hard on tensing the muscle that you're working on, okay? So I like to have my feet like shoulder width apart, and I'm going to do a straight leg deadlift. So basically I'm going to hold my legs as straight as possible because I want to work my hamstrings in this movement, okay? So we're just going to basically go down, and when you're going down, I want you to focus on holding your entire body completely straight. You're going to act like there's a zipper from your coochie to your boobs. You're going to zip it up so that you can hold your core really tight, okay? This is going to prevent you from having any kind of back problems. Y'all got back problems? Because I got back problems, and we ain't trying to hurt our backs, okay? Don't forget, if this is helpful, tap the share button, comment the word share. All right, so then we're just going to go into this. The biggest...
Anytime you want me to pause this so you could roast her, you just let me know.
I mean, my brain is in a constant roasting state right now, so we should probably wait.
Okay.
It's on fire. It's just
I mean,
roasting
fair.
in general. Yeah.
Fair.
The mistake that a lot of people make when they're doing deadlifts is they're like leaning forward with the bar like this, and they're hurting
like you do on your
backs.
squats.
Like, I'm telling you right now, the quickest way to get an injury is to sacrifice your form. So when we go into this, we're going to act like we're pushing our hips back, okay? Y'all see how I'm doing that versus just kind of like bending over? Like, no, we are pushing our hips back. Is this a good representation for you guys? I feel like I'm not.
No.
I should probably back the cameras up. But Gracie, hi, thanks for sharing, girl. I appreciate you. All right, so we're going to push our hips back, and you want to keep the bar as close to your legs as possible. Like, honestly, let it glide on your legs. So
I thought she said she was doing straight leg deadlifts.
She's a complete and total moron, and I can't stress that enough. First of all, really bold move to start with deadlifts, the most complex of all the lifts.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Explain to all the people who have never lifted a weight before the most complex of lifts when you don't even know how to do it correctly. Go ahead. Do it. Thank you.
And the risk of somebody getting hurt. Ugh.
Huge. Okay. Nope.
we're going to do this. I'm going to try and do it fast. I'm going to actually work out with you guys. Is that okay? Give me a thumbs up in the comments if that's okay with you. All right, so we're gonna do this 10 times. So you're gonna focus on mind and muscle connection, focusing on the backs of your hamstrings, your glutes. I don't like to go all the way down to my feet. I feel like that is unnecessary because you should only really go to your, I'm trying to explain this the best way possible. If I'm going all the way down, it's putting strain on my back. There's no need for it. You really only need to stretch the muscle to the exertion point. And I don't know how else to explain that, but I only go to my knee and I come back up. All right, so we're gonna do this 10 times, okay? So I lost count, but 6, keep your form. You wanna push your
Listen, I lost count the other day and I ended up doing an extra set, so I'm not gonna shade her for that 'cause that is real.
You know, if you could hear the voice in my head, it's just the Marge Simpson sound over and over again.
We love The Simpsons.
Jesus Christ, this woman.
Let me know when you're, I guess we should let her get through the entire explanation and then go back and hey.
butt back into the movement. Make sure you're keeping your barbell to your legs, keeping the upper body as tight as possible. It's actually hard to do when you're talking, okay? So I think that might be 10. I don't know. Was that 10? Yes or no in the comments. The next thing we're going to do is barbell squats, y'all.
Oh,
By the way,
God. Okay, before we get into squats, do you want to talk about the deadlifts? Do you want to
Yeah. So
do you need me to back the video up?
if you want to. So
Okay.
it's a hinge movement. And there are several hinge movements and they're all really important. And if you've ever seen that toy, it's a bird. It's a plastic bird and it dips its beak into water.
Yeah. Yes.
Essentially, when you do a hinge movement, you are that bird. So you're only hinging at the hips. So for a deadlift, you're pushing your hips back. And the more you put a bend in your knee, we want a soft knee. So it's not straight and it's not bent. It's just soft, right? So it just has a little bit of a angle in it. And that's going to allow you to push your hips way back. And the more you push your hips way back, the more your hamstrings get really stretched. And that's what you want. So at the bottom of the movement, if she were to go as far as she should go, which is mid-shin, right? She's going a little shallow there. But if she went a little further, she would push her hips back more, keeping that back flat as she goes down. She's coming up okay. But
yeah, she's just going below her knee, it looks like.
And she's bending at the bottom of the move. She's like at the very bottom, she like bends a little more instead of pushing her hips back.
Because if she were to push her hips back, it would put more tension on the hamstring, that stretch,
And
right?
that's what we want. Yeah. So she said, right? She said she's only going down low because if she goes any lower, she'll put stress on her low back. But that's wrong. If she was doing it right, she wouldn't put stress on her low back. Her hips would just push back more. So she just sold herself out. She's not doing it right. So, beyond that, it's not the worst, but she's just not explaining it in a way that makes sense. She's like convoluted because when you're doing a deadlift, there's a lot of things to remember. That's what makes it so complicated. There's like 10 things to remember, big chest, lifted in the shoulders, flat back, butt back, hinging at the hips, soft knee, like tons of things. And to remember them all at once when you're first learning this is really like, it's an overwhelming thing. So I don't even start people on a barbell deadlift when I'm teaching hinging movements. I usually start them on something easier that has less potential for injury. There's different ways to do a deadlift. My favorite way is probably a cable deadlift.
Those are my favorite too, by the way.
So potential for injury on a cable deadlift is like 0 because if you get in trouble, you just drop it. No one gets hurt. You don't get hurt. Weights don't go flying. Nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's easy to really overload on volume with that, because you're really, really forcing that stretch into your hamstrings, and you can play in that bottom portion of the movement without involving your back. So you're not going to get hurt. And it's a good way to learn the movement and learn how it feels. Because a lot of this is feel. Once you know what you're supposed to be feeling for, then this movement isn't so complicated anymore.
Because that feeling guides you in the movement.
Yeah. Because then you know, like, your low back should not be engaged. So
yeah.
she's not far off, but she's just explaining it in a way that is just not helpful to anybody, because she's not qualified to explain it.
And she's going to, if somebody were to listen to this advice that she's giving, they could get hurt.
You know, when I first started doing deadlifts, I still had osteoporosis, and my spine, the bone density of my spine was that of an 80-year-old.
Wow.
And I knew that if I fucked up my form, I was going to be out of commission forever. Because one of the things that can happen if you mess up on a deadlift is you can, one of your discs can slip. So if a disc pops out, because that's a lot of pressure, like, you know, intra-abdominal pressure, and like just pressure on your spine, everything. So that can pop out of place. And if that happens, you're fucked. So when I first started doing them, I knew that it was really, really important that I learned how to do them perfectly. And so I did. And I learned from some of the best people I could find who actually do this in competition.
That's amazing.
So, you know, it's important, because if you learn it wrong, at some point, you're going to have to relearn it from scratch.
Yep. That makes sense. All right.
Let's look at her awful squat form, because this is probably the worst.
Yeah, this one is her favorite. Is, when I say her, I mean Susan. This is Susan's favorite, and obviously I'm being sarcastic. So,
the next thing we're gonna do is barbell squats, y'all. And by the way, give me a heart in the comments below if y'all want me to do this more. Like,
please don't.
I don't know if this is helpful for you guys until you
let me know if
it's helpful. So I'm gonna try and throw this over my back without hurting myself. I'm gonna try and not throw it, but
why not? This is my question. Why not turn around, safely put it on the rack, and then readjust into the exercise that you're going to do, instead of throwing this thing over your body? Like, why not just safely use the rack that's behind you?
For no other reason than to show people how to properly do so.
Yeah.
If she's demonstrating how to do things,
you have a squat rack. I mean, I don't know.
Right?
Oh, yes. God. All right. This is what not to do on a squat, FYI. I'm going to preface this with that.
I'm going to put it on my back because we're going to do body squats. So do this.
Oh my God.
Try to also not hit anything. And then we're going to do that. Okay. This is really actually awkward because, let me try and move it. I have the cameras way too close. First time doing this, you guys, so give me some grace. All right, and it's hard to show you like this. I feel like I should probably put this down and back the cameras up. But I'm just gonna show you from the front really quickly, okay? When you're doing your squat, you wanna have your feet hip width apart. Does that make sense? I don't know. But we're just gonna go into it, okay? And again, with this movement, to save your back, zip your coochie up to your boobs. Like, zip it up. You want to like really brace your core, and you want to keep a straight spine the entire time you're going down.
Oh, Susan is shaking her head.
First of all,
oh God.
As far as foot placement, that's all individual. There's no right or wrong answer. Everyone's hip width is different. So that's going to dictate where your feet placement is the most comfortable for your squat. So she can go fuck herself. That's not there's so
Fair.
much about fitness and nutrition that is not black and white. And it's really frustrating for people because people want solid answers. And a lot of this is trial and error or individual preference.
Yeah.
And can that be overwhelming for people? Yeah. Is it?
And scary for a lot of people, I feel like.
It's very scary. People always want me to tell them like exactly what do I do? What's this? What's that?
Yeah.
And a lot of it is, well, what do you like best? And
Yeah. What
then
feels good.
Right. So
Yeah.
she's wrong on foot placement. What else was she talking about?
She was talking about, she said, go straight up and down. But at the beginning of this, when she's setting it up, she almost looks like she's leaning forward, like she's setting up for like deadlifts, for a hinge movement. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like she was, maybe that's just me. I don't know.
No. And when she starts squatting, you'll see that she does that, but it's because she is not keeping herself upright. She keeps talking about bracing her core, but she's not bracing it in the way that you need to brace for a big lift. So there's a breathing technique to do during the big lifts, like deadlifts, squats, and bench press. And it has a name. The breathing technique is called the Valsalva maneuver. And it's using your intra-abdominal pressure. It's using the air inside your abdominal cavity to propel the weight up. It's like squeezing a plastic ketchup bottle and getting the ketchup out. Your body is that ketchup bottle. You're squeezing it, and the air is going. So on the way down in a squat, you inhale. So your core is not being braced. Your core is expanding as you go down. And as you come up, you actually hold your breath and push against your core. And that's when it's tight. And then at the top of the movement, you exhale.
Are y'all doing this right now as she's explaining this? I'm just curious.
So on the way down, as you push up, then exhale. So if, people tend to exhale on the exertion of the movement, but then you lose all your pressure. So you lose power doing that. So she doesn't have any weight on the bar, so she doesn't fucking know any better. When she starts throwing weight on the bar, she's going to see real quick that she has no power.
Yikes. And I hope she doesn't get hurt. And I hope that whoever listens to her advice doesn't get hurt. Ugh. All right. Let's see what else she has in store for us.
My legs are really long, and I feel like my ankle mobility is really bad. So I like to turn my feet out.
Quick question. If her ankle mobility were bad, wouldn't a heel elevated squat be a better option because of that?
Ding, 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 ding.
Guess who taught me that, guys? Right here.
Yeah. So
okay.
So, and what that also does, it forces all the force into the front of the quad, which is what a squat is for. A squat uses like all the leg muscles front and back, but it's quad dominant. So we're talking about the front of the leg, right? Whenever you are pushing back, you're using more glute and hamstring. So you'll see when she comes down and she's like folding forward because the weight on her back is dragging her forward. She's not using the muscles that she's supposed to be using. And she can do this, for a good while and build some muscle, but she's going to stop progressing at a certain point, and she's not going to be building the muscles that she thinks she's building because she's not doing it right. So there's going to come a point at which she's going to have to go back, start over from scratch, and rebuild her squat technique. If she ever wants to take this seriously, because this is not acceptable. She can coast with this for a couple of years, but she's not going to progress. And then she's going to be like, well, why am I not progressing? And then someone's going to have to break the news to her that she sucks.
Yeah. And that would be maddening, I feel like, to have to relearn form because you weren't given the proper guidance. You didn't find the proper guidance, and you're just kind of winging it. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I'm not progressing. Because I think the progression in the gym or however you guys work out, I think that that is the most motivating, and it doesn't necessarily have to do, and this is just from my own experience, it doesn't necessarily have to do with the amount of weight that you're pushing or pulling. For me, after working with Susan and understanding what I'm doing more and more every time I lift, playing with the depth of the movement is what is really motivating. You know, when I was doing my last mesocycle, she had me doing Smith machine squats, heel raise squats, and being able to go all the way down into the movement with control and then pausing and then coming back up slowly controlled was absolutely incredible. I've never felt stronger. I wasn't pushing, hundreds of, pounds of weight, but what I was pushing was controlled and was I was getting the most out of the movement because of the depth, because of the pause, because of the slowly coming down, holding it, and then coming back up. And I got some interesting looks from people at the gym, but yeah, it was cool. I took a video and I think I sent you that video,
You
didn't I?
did send me
Yeah,
it. I was so
it
proud.
was it was exciting. Thank you.
When you train in those extreme depths, you're really protecting against injury. So it kind of foots the bill of strengthening and stretching all at once.
That makes sense, though.
So if you think of, and I was using this example the other day, like if you're old and you fall on the ground walking, right, and you are stretched and you catch yourself in a fall and you're stretched in a weird way, and your muscles aren't strong enough in that position. Even if your muscles are strong, if they're not strong enough in the lengthened stretched position when they are forced into exertion, you're still going to break something.
Yeah.
But if you're strong in that really extreme position, then you're going to be able to handle all sorts of force. It's a different type of strength. It's a strength that you can't really go backwards and get. You have to kind of build it from the ground up. And it can be really humbling when you're kind of raring to go with lifting heavy weight. But if you stick with that and build it, then you can progress from that point and build upon into heavyweight. But you can't go backwards from that. If you're already lifting real heavy, you can't go back and get that flexibility and strength all in one shot.
Yeah. And I know for me that when we first started talking about, what I should be feeling, how I should gauge my workouts, the movements that I'm doing, that you have put together for me. I always say when I share my workouts, I always put in the story crafted by Susan, because she does, anyways, for me, it took me some time to understand how important that stretch and that pause and that movement was. And it was uncomfortable for me at first, because I was like, it doesn't hurt, obviously. Like, I'm going to be careful on how I word this, but that stretch is almost like, is this what I'm supposed to be feeling? But after Susan has educated me on this and sent me a ton of information about it, it makes sense, because you're getting the full gain in that movement by doing that. So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, and then you can add weight. Exactly. All right, let's get back to it.
A little bit, and then when I'm coming down, I'm just keeping this neutral spine. And I'll show you guys here in just a second what I mean by that. And then also, if you need to lean forward, you can do that. I feel like I'm trying to focus on my form.
What'd you say? Oh my God, look at this. Look at this. Let's take a pause from that.
It hurts. I'm offended.
Yeah, and she said neutral spine. She said neutral spine. I'm sorry.
I think she's meant to
that
say
is not a neutral
spine.
That her spine is like this.
No, she meant to say noodle spine.
Clearly.
No.
Oh God. Okay, I have questions.
So many.
I have questions, because not that long ago, I think he was a power lifter, and he was at a competition and he didn't bail properly, and the weight came forward and it broke his neck and he died at the competition instantly.
That's right.
And when I see this and I see where the bar is and I see how she's bent over forward, if there were any kind of a heavy load on this and she just leaned forward just enough, that thing would come forward, correct?
Yes, and a spotter could not save her. Could
Because
not
the spotter
save
would
her.
have to, I mean, no, the spotter would be underneath on a squat.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be able to act so fast. It would snap her neck before they could even get it.
God, I hate this so much.
It's just irresponsible. First of all, she should be looking up. You shouldn't be looking down when you're doing a squat. That's like the worst because it shows that her chest isn't lifted. So fail number one.
Yeah.
But like, it's just, there's nothing right about what she's doing. Nothing.
Oh, I hate this so much. And it looks like she's like leaning to her right a little bit.
Yeah, she's
and maybe
not
that's
symmetrical.
Oh my God. Okay, let's keep going. This makes me cringe. And not for the usual MLM recruiting tactics. This makes me cringe because you can't tell me her neck doesn't hurt. If she has a history of back pain, Kelsey Ray, this could be adding to it, my friend.
More than anything, and then also my depth. Like, the lower that you get, the better off you'll be.
Are you measuring the depth of the squat by how close your head is to the ground or how close your butt is to the ground? I'm just curious because I'm confused. Susan just staring in the camera is giving me so much life right now. Like,
I mean, what?
Guys, don't do this. Do not do this. This is what not to do.
I'm gonna try and show y'all from the side. The
Oh
better off
God.
you will be as far as like actually working your glutes with this movement. Okay, is this good? Can y'all see?
It's not for glutes, you asshole.
All right, here we go. We're gonna put B.
She just said squats are for glutes. I didn't even catch that the first time we watched this. Oh. I cannot. This needs a sound effect. Which sound effect?
No, God! No, God, please, no!
That's the one.
Oh, God. All right, let's keep going.
Width apart. I actually go a little wider. My legs are really long. I gotta like try to get deep in there, okay? There's something called a butt wink, but I'll explain that another time, okay? So we're just gonna do 10 of these. 1, that was 3, 4,
What?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Whew. Y'all, I'm sweating. Probably because I'm talking at the same time. But if y'all like this,
Kelsey Ray, you're probably sweating because you know you should not be giving any kind of advice on these movements.
She was like twerking the barbell. What is that?
I don't know. I don't understand why she was doing it so quickly. There was no pause.
Yeah, I mean, she can do whatever she wants on her own time, right? Like, if she wants to do shit wrong all the time or however she wants to do it, go nuts. I'm not going to stop you. You can risk getting hurt. Do not come on fucking air in front of people and claim to be demonstrating proper form, because you're not.
Yeah.
None of this is proper form. And then I get clients who come to me and they're like, well, I'm doing this and I'm not seeing any results. And I'm like, okay, send me a form video. And I'm horrified. And I'm like, where did you learn this shit? And then I have to reteach them. So Jesus Christ, please, nobody listen to this woman or mimic her movements in any way, because nothing she's doing or saying is valid. It's just not.
Mm-hmm.
Tap the share button. Call me the word share. I knew I was going to hit something. All right, so now the second thing we're going to do, this is a horrible setup, by the way. Bring it up. Bring it down. And then I need like I can just do this. Is this?
Yeah, because you have a rack.
All right, we're doing good. I actually probably could do it inside of the cage. We also have like these pull-up bars. I don't know, y'all. I'm really excited. So we ordered this lovely at-home gym system because our nanny of basically Callie's whole life, she's retiring. And nothing bad or anything, it's just time for her to move on. We love her, we will still see her. And with that being said, our schedule is changing. So I'm basically going back to being a stay-at-home working mom. So tell me in the comments below if you are a mom, drop the word mom in the comments. And any kind of tips or recommendations. I have not been a stay-at-home mom for, like, honestly, it's been a long time, like 4 years.
I feel like that's a Freudian slip. She hasn't been a stay-at-home mom for 4.5 years, but her whole brand has been about being a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, that's funny.
Isn't that weird?
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Also, a lot of comments about her being out of breath, probably because she was holding her breath the whole time, from what I saw.
Yeah, she shouldn't have been squatting that quick. She should have been breathing properly and taking breaks.
Yeah.
And she's an absolute mess. This woman is a mess.
This is not good.
And she mentioned butt wink. Did you catch that?
I did.
So
do you want to talk about that? I think
yeah.
You want to talk about it?
So it's really common. It's something called butt wink, and most people have it at some point, if not forever. And it's not really a big deal. It's nothing to get upset about. Doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It's just sometimes when people come down in their squat, their butt, instead of going out like the end of a kidney bean would kind of like a banana or something would go out like a tail.
Yeah.
Kind of curves under. So you'll be coming down normal, right? And then at the end, your butt will kind of do that. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to be upset about. It's not harmful in any way. It's not perfect, but some people's anatomy just kind of does that. I was able to annihilate my butt wink somehow. And I had to do it through a lot of deep squats with elevated heels and getting the mobility in my low back.
That makes a lot of sense, though.
To the point like where my hinge is, because I had to build my hinge so strong that it kind of fixed it. So instead of naturally bending under, my butt just kind of bent out like, I keep talking about twerking, and I guarantee, like, I am obsessed with twerking, but I promise I'm not just trying to insert.
She is. We had a whole conversation about this the other day. It was great. I'm not going to tell y'all what we were talking about, but it was awesome.
I'm getting good at it. I can do it in slow motion now. So like, it's just going to be a matter of practicing, and I'll be able to throw my back out. So
I love it. But not really throw your back out. Throw your back out in the twerking movement.
Throw it back is what I'm referring to.
I'm just making sure. Oh, God.
Watch out, world. I'm telling you. So,
I love it.
So, but it's essentially the same thing, right? So twerking is like controlling your low back so that you can like propel your butt out and back. And a butt wink is when you're not able to do that and it just curves under. So
Rosie says, looking forward to the Insta of that. Yes.
All right. I mean, I do it in the shower. Like in the shower, it's the best. But like in public, it'll take a while. I can just imagine you
Practicing your twerk in the shower, like, damn, I'm getting good. I
I'm
love
telling you.
it.
Listen, if you
Oh,
watch enough Megan Thee Stallion videos, you'll be doing it too.
that's true. Came here for Aaron, staying for the twerking. Oh, Karina said, super chats for an Aaron demo. LMAO. I will not be. Thank you.
I mean, you should. You can and you should with your rear.
Well,
You've
thank
built
you.
that thing to high hell. That thing is
Thank you.
sitting.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've put a ton of work in
Yeah,
with your advice, and I'm very grateful.
that is a peach.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyway, that's butt wink. But she doesn't even know what it is, so she can stop even mentioning it because she's not gaining any points for knowledge base. She's just an idiot.
I mean, if she does a video on butt winking, we will react to it, I'm sure, or make a reel or something.
She is a butt wink.
Don't listen to her advice, you guys. Don't listen to Kelsey Ray's advice.
Okay. So I'm a little nervous to see how it goes running a business online and then also full-time having Callie home with me, but I think it'll be okay. But anyways, with that being said, I'm not going to be able to go drop them off with the nanny for her to take them to school. So I will.
Okay, that part, let's talk about parenting. And everybody's life is different, but she would take the kids to the nanny for the nanny to take the kids to school. Why can't you just, if you're already out, this is a question that I have. If you're already out and you're getting the kids ready to go to the nannies, why are you not just taking your kids to school? I don't understand that. Yeah, I don't understand that. Oh,
She's
oh
not
my
telling
God.
us something.
Yeah. Donating to the Aaron Twerk Fund. Do it, my queen.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Your public
Thank you for the
wants it.
super chat, Brady. You what?
Your public wants it.
I know. Dirty birds.
Have to get up in the morning first thing, come out here and work out, go take the kids to school and come back. So it's going to be a change, okay? So the routine, the things you guys are going to be seeing is going to be a change. But if y'all like, honestly, if y'all like for me to work out with you like this every so often and teach you guys some movements, listen.
Please don't.
Give me a heart or something in the comments and tap the share button, comment the word shared, because I want to know that this is valuable to as many people as possible, okay? Sorry, so then we're going to go do some upper body movements. The first one I'm going to show you guys.
Thank you,
I
Katie.
should have, whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. The next time I go live will be 10 times better because I'm going to actually be able to show you guys.
Stop it, y'all are wild.
With the camera backed up, okay?
Thanks,
Don't
AJ.
forget, you guys, drop a 1 in the comments if you're watching me live right now. All right, so this is going to be for our back. So we're going to work on, basically what we're working on is glutes, quads, back, and shoulders in these movements. These are 4 different movements, okay? So we're
Glutes, quads, back, and shoulders. Is this, did I hear her right? Well, I don't think she said this. Let me actually back up. What? Why not separate those and focus on glutes and like pair up the muscles appropriately? I know I'm wording that funny, but
She's misunderstanding what's happening. So
okay.
whenever you're doing a rowing movement, you have to go into a hinge. But you're not doing anything in that hinge. You're just like stabilizing in your hinge. So what's holding you up is your hamstrings and glutes. But they're just engaged. They're going to be engaged, but they're not doing anything. So
Yeah.
it's not a hamstring movement. It's just what's holding you up. So she's done. And these are barbell rows. And she's missing a whole slew of information here when she's doing them. You want to keep your elbows as close to your body as possible because they're going to want to flare out naturally. Because we're always stronger in that position, right? But you want to keep them close to your body. That's part of keeping your back engaged instead of involving your arms. So she's not adding that. So strike one.
She's not even getting the full benefit of the exercise in all of the things that she's shown here.
She's not. And as to how far you hinge or how far you come up or to where you hit on your body when you bring the bar up, there's no right or wrong answer there. That's very individual. And there are a million different answers. And depending on where you come up, where you bring the bar, you're going to be hitting a different part of the back. So she's not qualified to teach this shit. She doesn't understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome back, Katie. That's awesome. Thank you so much. All right, let's get back into it.
We're just gonna bend over, like feet width apart, bend over, and we're gonna act like we're doing a deadlift, but we're not. Okay, we're leaning over, and we're gonna bring this. We're gonna do a row, basically. When you're bringing the bar or the broomstick or whatever you have, or the dumbbells, you have 2 dumbbells at home, that's cool too. We're gonna act like we're bringing it to our belly button, okay? We're not bringing it to
Karina.
our chest. We're not using our elbows. We are using our back. Y'all see how I'm doing that? I'm kind of putting my chest forward, but we're gonna do 10 rows. I honestly just wanted to come out here and do like a quick little 15-minute workout. I wanted to break
Slow
the sweat,
down.
which is what I'm doing, probably from also talking, but we're gonna like, my God, do these rows. Oh my God, y'all. I'm telling you right now, and this doesn't even have weight on it. It don't even have weight.
It does have weight that weighs 45 pounds on its own. So just because it doesn't have plates on it does not mean that it doesn't have weight. It's 45 pounds. I can't.
All right, so here we go. I'm gonna be surprised if the kids don't come out here. Like, honestly. Hi, Hillary, Christine, Macy. What's up, you guys? All right, so basically our next movement is gonna work our shoulders. So you want that right there? You want that muscle definition? You want them rounded shoulders? The biggest misconception with ladies. How many of you guys?
Oh God.
How many
Here we
ladies
go,
in here
Susan.
right now, you are terrified to work upper body because you don't want to look bulky? Drop a me in the comments if that's you. Okay?
Oh.
You don't want to look bulky. Let me tell you something, because I said that at the very beginning, and I was like, I don't want to look manly. I have really broad shoulders to begin with. Okay, I don't know who can relate to that. But I didn't want to look manly. But I'm telling you, working my upper body has helped to give me the hourglass shape, and it has helped to define my arms and take the fat off of my arm, like the bat wings. How many of you guys struggle with that? It's so not what you think, okay? So now, I don't know why I turned. What am I doing? We're gonna have to get this shit together. So,
I mean,
we're gonna bring it up. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
oh my God,
Alright, so
this
now we're gonna do
comment.
overhead press.
Listen, this comment right here, I feel so seen. I want to strike fear in the heart of men. What do you mean? I feel so seen by that comment. Oh God. All right.
We're gonna bring it down. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Slow down, bro.
Oh my God. So much wrong. So much bad.
All right, let's rewind this and I'll mute her and you can tell us.
All right.
Ready?
First of all, 45 pounds for overhead press for somebody who is either just starting out. Most women cannot do 45-pound overhead press.
That's a lot of weight.
That's a lot of weight. And it's a big movement. You can potentially press a lot of weight in it, but your shoulder is a delicate joint. So when it comes down to where you stop, you should stop at a place around your chin. The bar should be around chin. Any lower than that, you are compromising your shoulders because there's gravity and there's a big fucking weight in your hands. And that is weighing on your shoulder joint. And you have to get that back up. That is a big deal. It is a big deal for your shoulders. So not a good idea for her to dive bomb the weight down and let it drop and then just keep. No. She's going to hurt herself big time. Not
That's
good.
terrifying.
It's terrifying. And whenever you're doing any kind of weightlifting, right? I don't care what kind of weight you're using. To stop a weight in space, it is imperative to be controlled and slow. When you're
Mhm.
propelling the weight, pushing forward or pulling, you can use force. But while you're being pulled out by the weight or letting the weight pull you down, you want to be slow so you can control where it stops. If you don't go slow, you cannot control where it stops. Gravity will fuck you.
You have the weight plus gravity.
We call
That's
that dive
terrifying.
bombing. When you dive bomb in a squat, you fuck your knees up.
Yeah.
If you go down slow, you can control where you stop. If you don't go slow on the way down, the force of stopping in space with a weight on you, think about that.
Yeah.
There are shearing forces going through your joints. And these are shearing forces you can't see. We're talking about physics.
Yeah.
So for her to demonstrate this with a weight that most women can't use,
Somebody's going to get hurt.
somebody's going to get hurt. I teach women weightlifting form in a class, and I see different levels from people who've never lifted before to people who've been lifting 2 years. And I'll tell you, for most women, 45 pounds is still a lot of weight to overhead press.
Yeah.
I'm very, very experienced. I'm very strong. My standard overhead press weight is 65 pounds. I can do 85 for sets of 5 on a strong day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that all the time. I do that very rarely and only when I'm feeling very strong and I'm full of carbs. So that never happens.
Yeah.
But this woman just needs to put down the barbell. This is not for you.
Yep. Patricia asked a question and she says, is there an age where it's too late to work on your muscles? And I think
No.
that is a phenomenal question to ask and a really, really important question to ask.
Nope. Never too late. It is never too late to build muscle. In fact, if you are older and you have no muscle, you are going to build muscle.
Yeah.
Anything additional you do is going to build muscle if you come from a space of doing nothing.
Yeah. And also, I know I said this earlier when we started the live stream, but Susan also takes clients virtually. She trains me virtually. I know she trains several people virtually as well, unless you're in the Philly area, then which I'm sure Philadelphia is a huge city. So
It's not so big.
no? Okay. And so, I mean, if you're looking for somebody to ask these questions and maybe you don't feel comfortable asking on this live stream, which I 100% get, and you're just kind of, watching, feel free to connect with her and ask the questions because I know that is one of the things that she's told me that she gets really excited about is just connecting and answering questions that you guys may have if this is something that you are looking for, no matter where you live. So her information is in the video description along with her credentials. And I see people saying, Susan's my trainer. I know, me too. And it's so exciting. She's amazing. I've learned a ton.
Yeah, I answer everyone's questions. So
yeah,
it's my pleasure to do so.
Yeah. So feel free to reach out, especially if, you're not sure where to start or you've never lifted weights or whatever, and you don't feel comfortable asking, feel free to reach out to her on Facebook or Instagram. And she's been amazing. I can't say enough about her and what I've learned. So, reach out if you have questions. But Patricia, thank you for asking this because I'm sure that there's other people that are watching this that are wondering the same thing. And yeah, so okay, this is another good question. I'm not sure if you're able to answer it. If you know, can I build muscle without a functioning pituitary?
Oh, that is a good question. I don't see why not, but I do not know for sure. Hormonal stuff is really, that affects metabolism more than anything else. And your pituitary controls all your hormones. So, I don't think it would prevent you from building muscle. It might make it harder, but I think that would be a conversation for your endo. So if you have an endocrinologist, and I'm assuming you do, if you don't have a functioning pituitary, I'm sure you have a team working with you, because I have hypothyroidism. I have a team that I work with of endocrinologists. So it's a big deal. It can really, be a hurdle to getting to where you want to go fitness wise. It can make things harder, but not impossible. So, I would find a trainer that is well versed in pituitary stuff. I'm well versed in thyroid stuff just because I have thyroid stuff. But yeah, I would talk to your endo about it. But I don't see why not. Is what my answer would be.
Yeah. Okay. We'll finish this video. There's only a couple minutes left, and then maybe we can take, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, and people can ask some questions if you're comfortable with that, Susan. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. And yeah. All right, let's finish this. Oh, it's muted. Sorry.
Okay? So it's not like doing overhead press, I probably couldn't put weight, but doing the deadlifts, 100% probably could have added some weight. But I wanted to give you guys like plain explanations of like my top 4 full body workout, full body movements. So I don't know if you guys love this, just share it out. Type in the comments where it's shared when you do. I'm sure I will be making, I know I'm about to be making so much content. So if you're not following on all my platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, if you are, drop the word fit in the comments, FIT, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I want to know how many of you guys are following me everywhere. I'm going to be posting a lot more content showing you guys how to get fit, how to get healthy, how to fall in love with your body. Like I am really exploring the fitness side of content creation and how much I absolutely love it, and showing you guys in a funny way how to actually build your muscles and to shed fat off your body. So I'm really excited about this. I wanted to just come out here, break a sweat, and I'm live on Instagram, I'm live on TikTok, and I'm live on Facebook. So I love it.
Wow.
Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for hopping on. Thank you for sharing this out if you did. And I'll catch you guys live tomorrow doing something. I don't know, tomorrow's Sunday. So happy weekend. Love you guys. Merry Christmas. I'm sure I'll tell you a lot more times before Christmas actually comes, but I will see you guys live tomorrow. Bye.
Okay, goodbye. Also, don't hate girl me. This is amazing. I love this comment. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Don't hate girl me says, thanks to partnering together on these lives, my husband and myself, sorry, I'm having trouble reading, hired a personal trainer to work with for 2024. We realized how important it is to work with a professional. It's our Christmas gift. I think that is a phenomenal Christmas gift, and congratulations to you guys. That's so cool. Her shorts had a pattern. I don't know if they were see-through. I don't know if they're, what we call squat proof. Not sure. No idea. No idea. Okay, so the last couple minutes, we'll take maybe 10 minutes. And if you guys have any questions for Susan, I'll highlight them and she can answer them. And of course, if there's things that you don't feel comfortable putting in the comments here, totally get it. You can message her privately and she'll get back to you. She's amazing. So hit us with some questions, guys.
I was going to say, Kelsey didn't include any reps or sets.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Yeah.
She just went through like 4 exercises, 1 set each. So there was no specifics. That wasn't really a workout. She didn't really explain anything.
Yeah.
And is she selling programs? Is that
what I think she's doing? And if you guys know the answer to this, let me know in the comments. What I think she's doing is she has a 10-day program where if you buy ketones from her, you get the 10-day program, you get access to however she has people contact her, whether it's a Facebook group or Telegram or whatever. And I think you get the eating plan, the grocery list, and all of that stuff. And I think it's just a blanket thing that everybody gets. I think that's how that works. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Gross.
Yeah. We don't like it.
Ketones.
Did I
Which
did I miss a super chat, Brandy?
oh no.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's read it. My apologies. Is muscle memory a real thing? Are some people just more naturally able to lift more than others? I feel like I can kind of jump in and out of it. It's a good question.
So muscle memory is when you
Sorry,
build
Brandy.
muscle. Let's say you build muscle and you're working out for a while, and then for some reason you take some time off. You take off for like a year from lifting or less, right? And you noticeably lose some muscle. You kind of, your physique goes back a little bit, reverts to what it was before. And then you resume lifting weights. Your muscle will come back pretty quickly. So that's called muscle memory. And even if you've like taken a break for like a couple years, because those cells are still there. It's almost like fat cells, right? So fat cells, you can't get rid of them. They just shrink. And if you fill them up again with fat, they're still there. You can only, I think some spas claim to burn them off, but you can't like burn away fat cells or freeze them. What is that? Like they call it
Cold sculpting?
cool sculpting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Not a thing. But yeah, so you can't like annihilate those cells. They just kind of shrink and go dormant. But then once you start using them again, then they go back into function. So your muscle will pop back quickly. So if you delved in and out of fitness, that's muscle memory.
Love it. Sorry I missed that, Brandy, and I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Okay, Karina has a question. If someone signs up with you, is there a minimum requirement of sessions per week/month?
No. So in-person stuff and online stuff with me is different. So for online, I don't have a minimum. Most people stay with me for at least a couple years. Some people drop out after a couple months for whatever reason. Sometimes they can't commit to working out and it's just not worth it for them, or they have a lot going on. They just can't commit to themselves for a while, or whatever, like stuff happens, and that's fine. And some clients have come back to me. They've taken a break and then come back when they're really ready to delve into it. But I have no minimum. I charge by the month, and yeah, it's pretty simple. I write people a program that's custom for them and whatever equipment they have available, whether they're working out at home or at a gym. Like everyone's different and everyone has different abilities or existing injuries. So we talk about those things. We talk about limitations or, just individual things that
and goals that they have,
and goals and what's best for them. And we go from there. Some people are coming from a place of athleticism. Some people are coming from a place of no athleticism. And it really doesn't matter. There's always a starting point. And I work with everyone from where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. All right. Next question we have. How can I build up to doing a pull-up? I love that you asked this question. This is something that I want to do this as well, Jamie, so I get it.
So first I'll tell you that pull-ups are really hard. Most women can't do a pull-up, and that's okay. There's at most gyms, there's usually an assisted pull-up machine. That's a good way to build strength in that movement, but it doesn't translate directly to the actual movement of a pull-up. So it's a good interpretation. It's a bad actual translation. A better translation is to use a band for a pull-up. And this is why Erin is laughing, because we've been trying to like go into this direction for her. They make bands in different resistances. So you want to get one that's like real thick, the thickest one they have. That's the most resistance. And you can put a knee in it or a foot in it, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And you loop it up on the pull-up bar, and you use it to give yourself resistance. If you want, you can use a couple bands that will give you more assistance, and you can work up that way. General back strength is going to help you also, but you want to, the way you should think of the movement is you want to break the bar in half. So you're pulling the bar, but you actually want to think about breaking it in half.
Because that activates all the muscles for the movement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm laughing because listen, I'm going to be fully transparent. I'm going to share this conversation that we just had about this because I think it's super relatable, and I know people out there are going to get it. So I've been doing assisted pull-ups for probably as long as we've been working together. Don't you think? I mean, it's been we've been working together now for 13 months. We started not last November. Not this, you know what I'm saying? 13 months ago. Anyways, and I told her when we first started working together, I'm like, I like the hard things. I like the challenging things. I want to be able to do pull-ups and this and that. She's like, oh, okay. And so I've been doing assisted pull-ups for quite some time. And she's like, Susan is very kind. She's like, listen, Erin, it might be time to get into the, with bands. And I'm like, I don't know how to set this up. I feel really uncomfortable. I've made friends at the gym. I know that's a shocker, but I've made friends at the gym, one of which is also a trainer. And we were talking about this because there's only 2 assisted pull-up machines at my gym. They were both broken one day, so I couldn't do the movement. And I was really pissed because I like doing assisted pull-ups. And he was like, well, let me look at it. And we were talking about it. And I was like, so my trainer wants me to do banded, assisted pull-ups. And he was like, yeah. And I said, I have this fear that I'm not going to be able to even do one. Like, I'm going to get there and I'm not even going to be able to hold my body weight, even with the bands. And I was like, what if I can't do one? And he looked at me and he was like, because we've talked for a while. Like, this is not like a new friend that's, being judgy or whatever. He was like, but Erin, isn't that the point? Like, to get stronger, maybe you can't do one, or maybe you just hold yourself or whatever. He was like, but isn't that the point? And I was like, listen, David, okay, you're being a little too real right now. I'm gonna need you to calm down. But anyways, relatable. So
the other thing you can do is if there's a bar on a squat rack, right? You can hang on that bar in the squat rack and like take most of the weight off of your feet, still touching the ground, and just kind of work on that kind of assisted pull-up. It's kind of a like weird, shitty way to do it, but it's doing the same thing essentially. And you're not losing any contact with the ground.
Okay. Anyways, that's me being real, guys. Okay. I like to do the challenging things at the gym, but then when it's like something different, I'm like, wait, hold on. Oh man, just keeping it real over here. All right, next question. Can I trust what they teach in college weightlifting class?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what they're teaching you.
It depends on the certification, their credentials too, right?
Totally. I would assume that if somebody's teaching in a college weightlifting class that they went to school for kinesiology or physiology or both.
Yeah.
So that they would be, qualified to do that. I would
maybe if it's a college class, there would be some sort of a what do they call that at the beginning of the class where it gives you the rundown of, I cannot think of that word.
Syllabus?
Syllabus, thank you. On the syllabus, I would assume that the credentials of the instructor would be on there, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Check into their credentials? Yeah, that's a good question. Rebecca B says, I have chronic back and neck pain. What's the best way to strengthen and stretch while being safe?
Do you know the source of your back and neck pain? Do you know why you have it? Because that would be helpful to know how to treat it during any kind of activity.
I'll watch for you to answer that in the comments, Rebecca, and we'll come back to it. Jenna says, when you train clients, is it Zoom? Does your client send videos for form? Super curious how it works. Great question, Jenna.
Yeah, so I am usually in contact with my clients every couple days. They're welcome.
I talk to her every day. I'm not going to lie.
They're welcome to message me every day, several times a day, for any reason, whether it's a form check or an exercise question or a food question or a life question or a freak out or a mental health thing. Like, you are allowed to message me for whatever, and I will answer mostly immediately, but as soon as I possibly can. I have a video chat with clients once a week, and that's pretty casual. I kind of check in and see when people have time, and we kind of work it out that way. It's not formal or anything. It's just like, hey, when you want to do this, let's set it up. And some clients are more comfortable on Facebook Messenger. Some people are more comfortable on FaceTime. Some people are more comfortable on another platform. And I just let clients dictate what is best for them, because I can use anything. I don't really care. And I have a couple clients who like for me to do in-person workouts with them over video. And I'll do that if I can, and I'll make time for that. And it's my pleasure. It actually helps me to help them to do their best work, because sometimes people think they're doing the right thing, like I said before, like, because it's different from coaching somebody in person, right? In person, I can like tweak them in real time. For every rep, I can like coach them through it. But there's a lot of just assumption and trust when I'm coaching people online. I write them a program and then they do it, and I check in with them, but I don't know what they're doing in those times, right? So, I leave that up to them. And it's, online coaching isn't for everybody. Some people need in person. I have one client who needs me to be there in person every day. Otherwise, she can't seem to hold herself accountable. And she knows that about herself. So that's how we navigate it. And she's made great progress.
We love some self-awareness. That's amazing.
And it's not cheap for her, but it means a lot to her. So we make time for it every day. And she works really, really hard. And she's made incredible progress since she's upped her sessions. So it's
amazing.
It's been working for her.
Well, we're all cheering her on. You can tell her I said that. Yeah. This is what Rebecca B said. I got into a car accident at 18, fell down some stairs and broke my ankle a few years later. I hold stress in my shoulders and neck as well.
Wow. Okay. Well, I actually think building muscle would help a lot with pain, but I would consult a PT in person for that, just so that they could be with you and kind of know what you've been through and watch. Because if there's any kind of muscular imbalance from the injury, like incongruency side to side, then they'll be able to kind of catch that and coach you through it and make things more even. So I think it's really, really important when there's an injury like that, especially one that happened a long time ago that has caused chronic pain throughout your life. you know, I've turned down many clients online who have come to me with big time injuries. It's just not ethical for me to take them on if I can't be physically with them to visually watch what's happening with their bodies, because there's so much information there. It's vital information that will help me to help them be safe and to make progress. But if I'm not with them in person, I can't do that for them. So if you have that kind of injury, I would advise you to find somebody in your area who can be there with you.
Yeah. All right. And then we have a question from Coconuts. What sort of stretches would you recommend for someone with hypermobile? I can't ever pronounce this syndrome.
Ehlers-Danlos.
Thank you.
It's that's a tough one. I've never dealt with anyone with Ehlers-Danlos. I know a few people who have it. I've never coached someone with it. I've coached people with like hypermobility and like who are double jointed. And most people who are double jointed know how to like control that. But I honestly, I don't know how to coach you through that one. I'm sorry.
That one would have to be probably researched, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. More to come, maybe, hopefully, on that. Let me see if I have any other questions. Oh, Sam says best exercises for a person with the start of arthritis in their knees. I have arthritis in both my knees. I've had 3 knee surgeries, so I get it, Sam. I get it.
So just strengthening your legs in general all over is going to help support your knee joints. And if you don't have a lot of strength, like if the arthritis causes so much pain that it prevents you from actually doing any kind of movement in them, you have to start slow, because there's going to be a little bit of pain. But the more strength you build and the more flexibility and strength together that you build, the more you're going to support that joint. So you just have to go very, very slow. So best exercises, there are no best exercises. It's just going to be a matter of building the entire quad and calf around your knee. And it's really important to do so. Like, you know, if anyone has ever had IT band problems or a knee problem from too much cardio and not enough weightlifting, because you'll wear out your connective tissues, and if they're nothing strong enough to hold together the joint, that joint is going to start falling apart. So the only way around that is to get strong so that it can hold everything together. So same thing applies to arthritis, but the arthritis is going to cause pain that will make your brain say you should stop moving, and you have to resist that part, because that part is going to spiral into a bad, you know, you kind of have to work through that initial pain to get to the non-pain, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially having arthritis in my knees. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So like if you want to do squats, right, with arthritis in your knees, you're not going to go all the way down at first. You're going to go as far as comfortable with enough weight, but not too light to make impact. And then you're going to just work from there and slowly work higher and higher in weight and get more
And
flexible.
Also, don't listen to Kelsey Ray. Okay. Just wanted to say that.
For sure.
Oh, man. Beck of all trades says, are you better off doing multiple sets with the same weight or drop sets? A few reps with high weight, more reps with less weight, and so on.
Let me digest this sentence. Doing multiple sets with the same weight or drop sets. A few reps with high weight, more result. Okay. So drop sets are an intensity technique. They will take you to failure. We don't want to go to failure all the time. In fact, I never go to failure. maybe I'll mess around with failure at the end of a mesocycle, which means that last portion of time before a deload. And a deload is a rest, right? It's like a week-long rest. But recovery is really, really important. And when you go to failure, you are pushing your ability to recover. So it takes, when you go to failure, you take longer to recover. So to do a drop set is something that you should like pull out of your hat every couple months or so. Or if you're like short on time and that's all you can do is a couple drop sets of something, then do that. But it's not to be used all the time. It's not a way to train. It's an intensity technique. So better off doing multiple sets with the same weight? Yes.
And training for hypertrophy versus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Okay.
you know, in sets of like 8 to 15, you want those last 2 or 3 sets to feel sticky. They should feel like they should start to slow down and they should start to feel like, I don't know if I can do another one. That's when you know you're at the end. But you should be able to complete the set.
Yeah. Okay. And then this will be the last question. So Susan says, I'm currently in law enforcement, so I'll be retiring while I'm still quote unquote young. I'm considering getting my personal trainer certification as my job after retirement. Suggestions.
Suggestions in terms of which certification to get, or should you do it?
I say do it. That's what I'm saying. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, if the science of all this enthralls you, and if helping people fires you up, and if you've come from a place where you've felt lost or weak or disempowered, and you want to give that to people, you want to give people autonomy and self-esteem and you know, just the knowledge that they can do anything, then yeah, do this. I'm certified through A.C.E, the American Council on Exercise. NASM is another really, really reputable certification. And what is ISSA is another one, ISSA. And I think those are the 3 most widely recognized ones. There are a couple others that are pretty good, but those are the top 3. And you know, a lot of them are self-study, so you can study at your own pace, and then you take a test. And yeah, I actually knew most of this stuff before I went.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I had no problem with my tests, but I've been studying this for a long time, and yeah, I think you should definitely look into it, if anything. You know, the pain in the ass about it is that you have to keep upping your certifications. So you have to recertify every 2 years, but before you recertify, you have to get continuing education credits. Yeah. So you have to continue to learn and like get more certifications as you go, which is kind of cool, but you have to pay for them. So.
I mean, and it's a good thing, because at the beginning of this, when you were saying things change so often, we're debunking, we're improving, you know, that's a good thing that these CE, you know, credits are a requirement. But yeah, total bummer that they cost money, but I get it also. I get that.
Yeah. And I love learning, and I love like being forced to get new certifications, because like I think a lot of people would just coast on one if they could.
Yeah.
But this kind of like, you know, at the end of a career, you can have a CV that's like, you know, full of accreditations, and that's really cool. I love that.
Yeah, that is cool.
Like
we talk science so much.
I never thought I would be teaching a group fitness class, but I am, and I was able to develop my own class and design my own class in weightlifting. So,
which is awesome.
It's just the coolest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, do that shit.
Yeah, what she said. All right, you guys. I appreciate y'all so much for being here. Thank you for asking Susan questions and all of your commentary. And Susan, thank you for being here as always. I appreciate you so much. And I learn a ton from you. And I'm just so excited that I can share you with the world here on YouTube and also anywhere else I can, because I think that it just, in my opinion, based on my experience, the things that I have learned from you and will continue to learn from you have been just integral in how I work out with my goals and the progress that we've seen. And yeah, it's just really cool. So if you guys want to contact Susan and talk to her one-on-one, her information is in the video description. I have both Facebook and Instagram along with her credentials. So feel free to reach out to her. And yeah, I'll text you after this, as we always do.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.